There is a kind of tired that sleep just cannot fix. The alarm goes off in the morning. And even though you've clocked a full 8 hours, maybe even 10 hours over the weekend, your body feels like it is filled with lead. Your eyelids feel like they've been glued shut. You sit on the edge of the bed, overcome by a deep sense of powerlessness, dreading the day ahead. This exhaustion isn't because you moved heavy furniture yesterday, and it's not because you ran a marathon. In fact, you might have done absolutely nothing yesterday but lie around. But here's the strange part. The more you lie down, the more tired you feel. The more you try to rest, the more anxious you become. If you feel like I'm describing you right now, please take a deep breath and listen closely. This is not because you are lazy. It is not because there is something physically wrong with you, and you are certainly not being dramatic. It is because your brain has never actually taken a break. You think you are resting, but your subconscious is fighting an invisible battle 24/7. This isn't physical exhaustion. This is chronic inflammation of the soul. In psychology, we call this mental fatigue or high-functioning burnout. If we don't address the root cause, you could sleep for 100 years and still wake up exhausted. Today, we are going to peel back the layers of this onion to reveal the psychological truth behind why you get more tired the more you sleep, and I'm going to give you a proven, actionable protocol to truly force quit your brain's background apps and restart. First, we need to shatter a massive misconception. We always try to cure mental depletion with physical rest. What does that mean? Imagine your phone battery is dead. It's old. It won't hold a charge, or maybe you have 500 apps running in the background. In that moment, if you take an expensive cloth and furiously polish the screen, or buy the phone a brand new case, do you think that will fix the low battery problem? Of course not, but that is exactly what we are doing. When we feel mentally drained, our first reaction is, I need a nap, I need a massage, or I need to lie down and doom scroll. These are physical forms of rest. But your exhaustion comes from background programs in your brain that refuse to close. When you lie in bed, your body stops moving, but your mind is running a marathon. Your nervous system is still on high alert. Your emotions are still churning. It's like a car sitting in neutral, but you have your foot slammed down on the gas pedal. The engine is roaring louder than it does when you're actually driving. That is the state that burns the most fuel. So what exactly are these background programs that are secretly draining your energy? I have identified the 3 most common energy black holes for modern people. The first black hole is called high-intensity emotional labor, or simply put, wearing a mask for too long. To survive in this society, we all wear a social mask. At work, you have to be the emotionally stable employee. At home, the thoughtful partner or the dutiful child. With friends, the cheerful listener. There is nothing wrong with this per se, but for highly sensitive people, keeping this mask from slipping requires a massive amount of energy. Think back on your day. In a meeting, your boss said something that rubbed you the wrong way. Your instinct was anger or to argue back, but your logic screamed, hold it in. So, you burned mental energy to suppress that rage, squeezing out a smile and saying, understood. A colleague shifted blame onto you. You felt wronged, but to keep the peace, you burned energy to suppress that grievance, smiling and saying, no worries, I'll handle it. Every single act of suppression, pretending, and performing is high-intensity labor. Sociologist Arlie Hochschild coined this term, emotional labor. This kind of work is more exhausting than carrying bricks because it directly consumes your willpower. When you get home, it looks like you've done nothing, but internally, you've acted in 100 distinct dramas and fought 100 invisible wars. That is where your energy went. It was performed away. The second black hole is a very subtle psychological mechanism called open loops or the Zeigarnik effect. Have you ever felt this? It's the weekend, and you're on the couch trying to relax, but suddenly your brain flashes. Oh no, I didn't reply to that email. I haven't finished next week's presentation. Did I sound rude when I spoke to my friend earlier? These thoughts are like annoying pop-up ads disrupting your rest. The human brain has a flaw. It is obsessed with unfinished tasks. As long as a task is incomplete, or you haven't given your brain a case-closed signal, it will allocate a chunk of RAM memory to constantly monitor it. This is why so many professionals cannot relax on weekends. Your brain thinks you are still in work mode. These suspended thoughts are like unsaved files on a computer, eating up huge amounts of memory, causing your whole system to lag and overheat. You think you are watching a movie, but half of your CPU is actually processing background anxiety. The third, and perhaps the scariest black hole, is called anticipatory anxiety and rumination. This usually happens in the dead of night. Your body is exhausted, your eyes are heavy, but your brain is crystal clear. Your brain switches into the default mode network, DMN. In this mode, humans involuntarily start ruminating on the past or simulating the future. You replay a sentence you messed up during the day, cringing so hard you want to curl up into a ball. Or you start fantasizing about tomorrow's disasters. What if I get yelled at in the meeting? What if I ruin this project? You have already rehearsed tomorrow's difficulties 100 times in your mind. You've even won tomorrow's arguments in your head. This act of pre-living the future forces you to live under double the pressure you are carrying today as exhaustion while prepaying for tomorrow as anxiety. It is like spending next month as paycheck before you've even received this month. So of course you feel overdrawn, which manifests as total energy depletion. Now that we know the causes, how do we save ourselves? How do we escape this high-functioning fatigue? I don't need you to make earth-shattering changes. I don't need you to quit your job and backpack across Europe. We just need to build an energy recovery protocol into your daily life. Here are 3 concrete steps. Step 1. Learn to offload your RAM. Since your brain can't hold on to so many unfinished tasks without stress, stop making it try. I suggest everyone keep an anxiety notebook or just use the Notes app on your phone. Before bed or before leaving work, take 5 minutes to write down everything you are worried about, everything unfinished, everything you need to do. The key here is the physical act of writing it down. When you transfer these thoughts from your brain to paper, you are telling your brain, I have recorded this. It won't be forgotten. You can stop monitoring it now. It's like hitting save on that open file. You will be surprised to find that once it's written down, that chaotic pressure lifts almost instantly. This is using an external brain to liberate your biological brain, directly countering the Zeigarnik effect. Step 2 is to stop fighting and practice sensory grounding. Often, we are tired because we live entirely in our heads, in abstract thoughts, and we have lost touch with our physical bodies. When your mind is racing and anxiety won't stop, don't force yourself to stop thinking. That doesn't work. You need to change the channel. Try the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique. Stop what you are doing, take a deep breath, and force yourself to find 5 things you can see. Notice the details, the colors. Find 4 things you can touch. Feel the texture of the desk, the hardness of the chair. Hear 3 distinct sounds: traffic outside, the hum of the computer, your own breath. Smell 2 things. Taste 1 thing. Why do this? This isn't magic. It's neuroscience. The human brain struggles to process intense sensory input and deep, anxious thinking at the same time. When you focus entirely on sensing, the neural circuits responsible for anxiety and rumination are forced to pause. Even if just for a few minutes, this acts as a hard refresh for your brain. It snaps you out of that floating exhaustion and brings you back to the present. Step 3 is the most important. Establish meaningless time. We are too obsessed with efficiency. Even when we rest, we think, how can I rest efficiently? Or what can I learn from this movie? This utilitarian mindset is a massive drain in itself. You need to allow yourself a block of time every day to do something completely useless, meaningless, and productive of 0 value, something that just makes you feel calm. Stare into space, watch the clouds move, pet your cat, or just sit there and tear up a piece of paper. In this specific time block, you have no identity, no KPIs, and you answer to no one. You simply exist as a living being. This state of aimlessness is the only true charging station for the brain. Finally, I want to say this to everyone feeling this heavy weariness. Mental exhaustion often comes because we are living too hard. We try to control the uncontrollable. We try to please people who don't matter. This exhaustion is actually a gift and a warning bell. It is reminding you, you have drifted too far from your true self. You are living a life that doesn't fit you. It is forcing you to stop, to re-examine your lifestyle, and to redraw your boundaries. So tonight, don't force yourself to fall asleep immediately, and don't blame yourself for being so tired. Try saying this to yourself: you've worked hard. I allow you to feel tired. I give you permission to stop for a while. When you start to accept this fatigue instead of fighting it, the healing has already begun. If you feel like this video spoke to your soul, please type the word accept in the comments, or write down the one thing that is draining you the most right now. Writing it out is the first step to letting it go. I'm your channel name, Decoding Your Psychology. See you in the next video.